Dear students, I welcome you to my second class with you. Today, I am going to read from Unit 5, Adolescence. And this unit is very much relevant for your age. Relevant for your age. Adolescence. What does the word mean, adolescence? Adolescence is the period in a man's life when a man goes through some physical as well as mental changes to become adult. This period takes place, adolescence takes place in between childhood and adulthood. In Bangla, we use boyosondhikal, adolescence. Now, all of you are adolescents because you fall in this group. You belong to this age. You are yet to be adults. You are adults. You are not adults yet. You are yet to be adults. When we shall call a man or woman adult, when he or she attains the age of 18. From 18 onwards, you are adults, and then you will have the voting rights. You will have the right to franchise, to vote. And after becoming adult, you can join different services. You can participate in different jobs. You can earn for yourself. Now I'm reading from the lesson 1, titled The Storm and Stress of Adolescence. The Storm and Stress of Adolescence. You are all experiencing some kind of storm and stress now. Which you did not have in your childhood. Warm-up activity. This activity is to brainstorm or storming your brains. And this activity gives you opportunity to prepare yourself for the lesson. And it also helps you develop reasoning. There are some questions. There are 3 questions. What age group do you belong to? What is your age? You belong to 16 or 16 to 17. Question number 2, do you think you are old enough to face the world? Are you prepared to face the world? That means the difficulties you will have to encounter in your adult life. Here, the answer can be you are not old enough to face the world. You are not old enough to face the world. Question number 3. Do you ever feel that people do not pay you much attention because of your age? Why? You often come across that. The older people, the people who are of who are senior to you, especially those who are adults, often do not want to hear you, want to admit what you suggest or what you propose. Why? Because you are not experienced, you are not yet prepared for solving any problems that arises while you are in practical life, especially for the maintenance of your family and earning money. Follow me. I'm reading now the text. Children must pass through several stages in their lives to become adults. For most people, there are 4 or 5 such stages of growth where they learn certain things. Infancy, birth to age 2, early childhood, 3 to 8 years, later childhood, 9 to 12 years, and adolescence, 13 to 18 years. Persons 18 and over are considered adults in our society. Of course, there are some who will try to act older than their years, but for most part, most individuals have to go through these stages irrespective of their economic or social status. What is said in this paragraph? Children must pass through several stages in their lives to become adults. Before becoming adults, children have to go through several stages in their lives. Why? Because most people, there are 5 or 4 such stages of growth. Prior to becoming an adult, you have to pass through 4 or 5 stages. And in these stages, you learn certain things. You learn some things in different stages. What you learn after your birth to the age of 2 years what you learn in your early childhood, 3 to 8 years, or later childhood, 9 to 12 years. This learning makes you capable for adolescence. In your infancy or early childhood or later childhood, you did not do what you are now doing. You did not think what are you now, what you are thinking now. Even the activities are not similar. The infants crawl, the infants try to walk, the infants try to talk. In early childhood, they try to play with things. They learn how to read and write. They learn how to dance, how to sing. In later childhood, these activities continue. And in adolescence, what you do, you try to make yourselves prepared for adulthood. Persons 18 or over are considered adults in our society. Not only in our society, almost in every society. Now, in the present world, 18 years is the line from whence a man or woman becomes an adult. In almost all the countries, people get voting rights, get the right to have property, get the right to earn money, work according to his or her wish. In some countries, we see that 21 is the age from when a person can take part or can do activities according to their wish. They, in those countries, before 21, one cannot drink, one cannot get married. In our country, a woman can get herself married at the age of 18, but for males, it is 21. Before becoming 21, no male, that means man, can get married, but a woman can get married at the age of 18. Of course, there are some who will try to act older than their years. They are precautious. What we say in Bangla, ichre paka. Most of you try to show yourselves as adults. And this is, we call ichre paka. But for the most part, most individuals have to go through these stages irrespective of their economic or social status. Regardless of economic or social status. almost all the individuals have to go through these stages. Now, read the second paragraph. World Health Organization, WHO, identifies adolescence as the period in human growth and development that occurs after childhood and before adulthood. This phase represents one of the critical transitions in one's lifespan and it is characterized by fast-paced growth and change, which are second only to those at infancy. Biological processes drive many aspects of these growth and development with the onset of puberty, marking the passage from childhood to adolescence. The biological determinants of adolescence are fairly universal. However, the duration and defining characteristics of this period may vary across time, cultures, and socioeconomic situations. This period has seen many changes over the past century. Puberty, for example, comes earlier than before. People marry late and their sexual attitudes and behaviors are different from their grandparents or even parents. Among the factors responsible for the age are education, urbanization, and spread of global communication. In this paragraph, we see different things about adolescence. World Health Organization identifies adolescence as a period in human growth and development that occurs after childhood and before adulthood. I've already said adolescence is the period in between your childhood and adulthood. So does World Health Organization. This phase means stage, represents one of the critical transitions in one's lifespan. Critical transitions. Here critical means difficult. Transition means from going from one stage to another. In one's lifespan, in one's lifetime, one has to go through this difficult transition, these difficult transitions, and is characterized by fast-paced growth and change, which are second only to those at infancy. We grow very fast in our infancy, and after that, in adolescence, we go through a fast-paced growth, very quick change in our physique, in our body and mind. In our body and mind. Most of you have already attained the physical structure, your height, your breadth have already become as those of your parents. Biological processes drive many aspects of this growth and development with the onset of puberty, marking the passage from childhood to adolescence. Biological processes. Our physical changes. We become outwardly same as our parents. The biological determinants here means factors of adolescence are fairly universal. The biological changes, the biological growth that we go through are universal. Why is it called universal? Because whether we live in Bangladesh or in the United States of America or in China or Japan or South Africa, wherever man lives, man has to have face these factors. You know, infants crawl, then toddlers try to walk. First infants try to speak one word, then two words, then three words. One word, two words, three words, then make sentences. These are same for all human beings in the world. However, the duration and defining characteristics of this period may vary across time, culture, and socioeconomic situations. The duration, the time needed for these factors and the characteristics to develop in this period may vary across time, cultures, and socioeconomic situations. In our country, we see young boys becomes hairy, beards and mustaches and grow. During this period, but in China or Japan, it these grow later. And there are some factors also responsible for these changes because of cultures and socioeconomic situations. You will notice that people having more money and getting nutritious food grow faster than those people who live in poverty. This period has seen many changes over the past century. In the past century, that means in the 20th century, this period has seen many changes. Why? Because of socioeconomic situations. For example, puberty comes earlier than before, as people are now much more conscious than the people of the past about immunization, about nutrition. Puberty comes earlier for proper nutrition and immunization. And there are some social and economic factors also for which people marry late. You will see that your grandparents or their parents got married in their teenagers. When they were teenagers, they got married. Now, we do not get married in an early age. Usually, man male persons now in Bangladesh uh, uh, get married after 25 years or after completion and getting a good job. And in the case of women, they get married at least after becoming 18. And many educated and well-off or wealthy families, we see girls get married after completion of their education. Though still there are some instances of child marriage in our culture, in our country. And look here, the change in sexual attitudes. 60 or 70 years ago or earlier, many people, male persons, took 2 or 3 wives. Now, this trend has lessened. And behaviors also have been changed due to social and economic reasons and education. Nowadays, you can argue with your parents, but even in our adolescence, we could not argue with our father and mother about anything. We had to abide by their advices, their instructions. We did not have much say in any regard to our parents. Among the factors responsible for the change are education, urbanization, and spread of global communication. I have already said about these. Global communication is also responsible for the change in the attitude. In the third paragraph, the time of adolescence is a period of preparation for adulthood during which one experiences several key developments. I'm reading now from the third paragraph. The time of adolescence is a period of preparation for adulthood during which one experiences several key developments. Besides physical and sexual maturation, these experiences include movement towards social and economic independence, development of identity, the acquisition of skills needed to carry out adult relationships and roles, and the capacity for abstract reasoning, while adolescence is a time of tremendous growth and potential. It is also a time of considerable risks during which social contexts exert powerful influences. What is said in this paragraph? The time of adolescence is a period of preparation for adulthood. It is already mentioned. The adolescence is the period when we prepare ourselves for adulthood. And during this period, one experiences several key developments. Key here means important, significant. Several means some. In this period, one experiences several key developments. Besides physical and sexual maturation, these experiences include movement toward social and economic independence, development of identity, the acquisition of skills needed to carry out adult relationships and roles, and the capacity for abstract reasoning. All these are related to education and the capacity of reasoning. Besides physical and sexual maturation, physically we grow up and we feel sexual urges. Besides these two factors, we experience some other things like movement towards social and economic independence. We try to make ourselves independent. We try to make ourselves independent. We try to exert what we feel and what we think, and according to our feelings and thoughts, we act, we work, and we try to establish our identity. Identity means in Bangla, porichoy. We try to establish our identity. And we also learn how to carry out, how to act in adult relationships. The adults do not act as the infants do, or children do, or adolescents do. From infancy to adolescence, people easily become friends. You will notice that while playing, children sometimes quarrel. Sometimes they fight. But within a few minutes or an hour, they again play together. They become friends again. But in adulthood, we cannot make friends easily, and we cannot break friendship easily. Here, the relationship is critical, difficult. We have to think about many things before becoming a friend. We have to test the persons with whom we make friendships. And the last one, the capacity for abstract reasoning. Abstract reasoning, vimurto reasoning. So how to reason a thing within one's mind is this abstract reasoning. And for this reasoning, one has to go through these experiences. While adolescence is a time of tremendous growth and potential, it is also a time of considerable risk during which social contexts exert powerful influences. Sorry. While adolescence is a time of tremendous growth and potential, we know adolescence is a very crucial, very important time of growth and potential. Potential, the possibility of making something good, some work that will show that we'll be very prosperous, we can establish ourselves. These are potential. It is also a time of considerable risks. In adolescence, people, young boys and girls, the teenagers, often get involved in antisocial activities like taking drugs or sexual abuses. And these things depend on social context. Social context. Many of our activities depend on social context, social structure. In a society, we have to maintain many things. We have to follow values established by our early generations. And these often influence us, influence us very much. So long for today's class. I will uh, conclude. I will complete this lesson in my next class. Till then, I want to take leave of you. Again, I will request you to put on masks while you are outside your home, and wash your hands with soap so that coronavirus cannot contract you. We can save ourselves from this pandemic. Try to maintain hygiene and take nutritious foods. Eat some fruits every day. And if possible, you can take zinc tablet and vitamin D capsule or tablet a day. And if needed, you can consult a doctor. And do not neglect any physical physical uh, discomfort. Take care of yourselves. Thank you. Goodbye.